Hello and welcome to a tutorial on how to carry many more wands with you, and also there'll be a bonus surprise tutorial on how to pick up extra items as well at the end. So the first thing I want to show is the basic, what's been dubbed the 5 wand method. This is where you can pick up a extra wand, just one extra wand. So I'll show that first just so that we have a reference for the much more well-known glitch in the game, and then we'll get into what I think is a much more powerful version, allowing you to pick up many more wands. And so yeah, this whole method is only going to require the base game, no mods, nothing like that. This is a glitch that anyone can do if they want in the base game. So just to get started, let's do the 5 wand glitch real fast. Okay, so basically the way that this glitch works is you're going to press one of the number keys for the slot that you want to put your wand into, and you'll press the interact key that you use to pick up items at the same time. So in my case, I've remapped the interaction key where the default is E. Now it's right click for me, which I would highly recommend, by the way. So normally when you right click, you end up on this menu, but if you hit if you pick up the wand and you press a slot number at the same time, you can then select that slot number to pick it up. So the problem is this has to be frame perfect. So like, you have to actually press both of those keys at exactly the same moment, which you might actually be able to do fairly easy. Just press like E and 4 at the same time on your keyboard, or E and 3 on the same time as your keyboard. You can do this. There's of course an easier way. So if we just go under options here, and you can go to configure controls, what I've done is I've set up an alternate key binding for both the interact key as well as, in my case, item slot 4, although you can pick any item slot that you want. Because I have this key binding set up for both, then it will allow for reliably doing this glitch. So this is like basically an easy way to do the 5 wand glitch. So I'm just going to come up to this wand. I'm going to hit, in my case, that tilde key that I set up. And then you have to select the same slot. So in my case, I picked slot 4. So I need to do it in slot 4. And then when I do that, I end up in this glitch state. So it looks like there's a spell on the ground. That's actually not, there actually isn't a spell on the ground. And as you can see, I have this additional wand that's kind of just like dangling here. So what you can see is that 5th wand is actually now in my inventory over here. But whatever was in that 4th slot, it's now dangling. Now the problem with this method for a 5th wand is at this point you basically need to make a beeline for the portal where you can then edit your wands, or maybe you might have a little bit more flexibility if you already have tinkered with wands everywhere. But there's not much you can do in this state. So like, for instance, I can't switch to one of my wands. I'm not really holding anything in my hand. You can see there's no wand in my character's hand. And if I left click to shoot or do anything, there's nothing I can do. I'm kind of helpless. I can move around, but I can't actually shoot a wand or anything. And then if I try to either scroll, nothing happens. If I try to hotkey to a slot, so if I press the 1 key, I'm going to do that right now, you can see that my character drops the extra wand. So now I have my normal wand in my hand and I can fire, but I no longer have that 5th wand. So it's pretty limiting when you're actually in the middle of this glitch. Now, if I want to get rid of the sort of the ghost spell that's just sitting there, then I can pick this back up. All right, so now if I pick that back up, the little rendering bugs disappear. But again, the whole time that you have the 5th wand glitch in place, basically all you can do is move around and jump in a portal or something. But it can be really helpful still for getting that extra 5th wand. All right, so that's the 5th wand glitch. There's what I almost kind of want to call a 10 wand glitch, and we'll see why in a second. But there's a better glitch. And the way this works is it uses a specific setting. So the first thing you need to make sure you have is under inputs, make sure you have this setting turned on here. So pause the game when unfocused is on. Okay, and then the second thing that you need to familiarize yourself is something called Alt-Tab, or whatever the equivalent is on your operating system where you're playing this game. But if I Alt-Tab out of the game, it will pause. And then if I left click back on it, it will unpause. And that's basically the mechanic we're gonna use. So make sure you either have like a window that's smaller than the game or on a different screen, so that when you tab out, you can then left click back on your screen and it will resume the game. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use specific slots, but there's actually a lot of flexibility in how exactly you go about this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one that's in my third slot here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, third slot. And I'm going to keep holding down left click. So I'm holding down left click. I'm not letting go. And then I'm going to tab out. So I'm going to press down Alt and then just tap tab. Okay, so now the game is paused. And now, you can't see this in the recording, but my cursor is hovering above the window. I'm going to then click. So I've let up on my left click, but I'm going to now click down and hold. And because I clicked down and hold, I'm still holding this wand. So then I can go over a slot and just let go. Let go and then click once. So now the game still thinks that the third wand is in the third slot, but the third slot is visually at least empty. So if I were in this state and I then went and, tried to pick up another wand, it would say, okay, well, you already have one in every single slot. So I'll show that real quick here. So see, it still thinks that this wand is in the third slot. So it's not fully quite good enough for the glitch. So I'm going to go back over here, hold down, tab out, click back on the window. You don't have to keep holding down left click, actually. Click on the slot. So now this wand's sort of tucked away outside of a slot, but then I can make one modification here, which is I'll pick up another wand, move it over. So now the game thinks that there's two different wands in the third slot and there's nothing in the second slot, which is perfect because now I can go and pick up yet another wand. Awesome. So now we end up in this interesting state where we actually have 5 wands, but my character is still holding a wand. I can shoot my wand. I can switch to another slot and shoot that wand. I can use actually all 5 of these wands. But I have a 5th wand, and in fact you can see there's this 5th wand here at the bottom of my screen here. Now there is so this is fantastic because now while I'm carrying this 5th wand, I can move around on the screen. I can teleport, I can defend myself, I can basically continue playing the game as normal. It's just I have this 5th wand that's just sitting right up here. Now, there is one problem with this right now, which is I, like a lot of people, heavily use hotkeys. So if you hotkey to slot number 1, what you can see up here on my screen is that it actually hotKeyed to the extra 5th wand. So it's actually, this is what it's hotkeying to when I hit the number 1 key. So if I'm in combat and I suddenly want to switch to my spark bolt here, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, none of those work, and then of course 5 is going into the item slots. So there's no hotkey for my spark bolt here. So to fix this, what I can do is I can pick up one of these wands, like say this one for instance, and then pop it back down, and then it will actually tuck it away. So now if I press the 1 key, it goes to the first slot. So 1, 2, 3, 4 actually works semi-correctly with the extra 5th wand just not having a hotkey. 1, 2, 3, and then you can see 4 there. So that will fix that one hotkey. Now, it will only fix it until you either restart or you try to pick up another wand. So the second you try to pick up another wand, even if you don't pick it up, so I'll show that right now. So I go over here, I think about picking up an extra wand, and notice how it's interesting that the bomb wand doesn't appear at all, but then this one does. Now you can see that one is up there. And I can just tuck it back in. So I can keep my hotkeys working correctly the way that I want them to. And that's the basics of the glitch, because at any point you can take this and drop it out of your inventory or drop this one out of your inventory, whichever whichever one that you want, you can drop it out of your inventory, and you can even rearrange things in here however you want. It's fully functional with all 5 of these wands. Fantastic. Okay, so of course the question is can we keep going? Because I mean, if we can do this with 5 wands, how can we proceed? So if I have this over here, I can take this wand, tab out, put it in a slot, tab out, put another one in a slot, and pick up another wand. So now I have 6 wands, and you can see that this 6th wand is so far down here I can't even see it. And we can just keep going. So let's do that. So I'll move stuff over, and then we can pick up another one. Now something different is going to happen this time. So notice this is the slot that we're putting it into. So the 2nd slot here. And what I want you to visualize is there's 4 slots over here in your spells. So when we pick up this wand, we're going to stick it in here. And then it's actually going to appear in our spell slots. So basically we still have 6 wands that we can manipulate and move around, organize however we want. But that 7th wand, it went over here into this slot. So if it basically what's going to happen is this one is now taking up a slot in here as if it were in here, but it's like offset over here in the spells, which is kind of interesting how that works. And if I try to pick up another one, you can see this wand appears in this slot. And in fact, even if I clear everything out so that we have what we in theory is an empty slot here, when we try to pick this one up, it's going to say, nope, you already got a thing here. So something different happens when we hit 7th. That this 7th wand is now like basically taking up this slot here. But we can keep going. So what we can do is, instead of clearing this slot like this, maybe we clear the 1st slot. Now that's fine. So now both of these slots here are full. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so before I go any further here, I want to show something else actually, which is basically as soon as you get that 7th wand, as soon as you get a wand in your spell slots, this new glitch opens up. And this is the bonus I was talking about at the beginning, which is I already have 4 items, but because I have these wands in spell slots for some reason, this now allows me to, whoop, what was that? I picked up a tablet and it went straight into the spell slots. I picked up another tablet. And you can just pick up all of these items until you fill all of your slots here. All right, so we're going to come back to this in a minute here, but I just wanted to show that you can pick up these items like this. So we're going to keep going here. So this is the next slot I want to have empty here. So I'm going to come in here, and by the way, I think you can put these wands anywhere pretty much. You just need them out of the slot. So then, like say for instance, if I do this, I should be able to put one in here. So now it moved one of the tablets over. Now there's a wand right here. And at this point, we can do one more. We can do one more. Hold on. Let me fix that. Okay, so we're going to empty that slot. And then right here, now we filled all of these slots here with wands. And we're full. We're like, at this point, I don't know of a way, because see, all of these slots are taken up with the same wands that we have right here. I don't know of a way at this point to pick up another wand. So that 11th wand, that's too much still. Like we've completely filled up this, but we still have these over here. So let's go pick up 5 more items. And at this point, now we're actually full. So if I right click at this point, there's just like these additional items can't be picked up. There's some interesting weird things that can happen if you set down an item too as well, where they'll automatically go into these slots first before filling these ones. But you'll have to play around with it some. There's definitely a lot more, I think, to this glitch than what I've been able to show so far in this video. But this is how like you completely fill your inventory with spells and items that would normally only be able to sit in, you know, this more limited space here. Another thing that I'll mention here is this glitch is modified if you don't have a full item inventory when you start it. So like if I start off like this, it will actually go to 8 before it throws one into these slots. And I'm not 100% sure exactly how all of that is caused, but this is the basics of the glitch, and I'm actually, hopeful that people continue to expand on it and figure out new little tricks that you can do with it.